channel. I'm Callie.
I'm Brittany.
So Sarah's not here today. She has work. She works on a farm, so you'll actually be seeing a little less and less of Sarah as harvest season in the Midwest becomes real. So today it's just the two of us, and we're going to be talking about our June book of the month, which was Renegades by Marissa Meyer. All three of us have read this. Sarah's going to give you her thoughts when she does a readathon next. So she talked a little bit about it in her recent read, which was posted before this video. So you can get her thoughts from there. But for now, we're going to talk about our thoughts, because we have lots of them.
We do.
Lots and lots of thoughts. So if you don't know and live under a rock, Renegades is about a not post-apocalyptic but futuristic world where superheroes exist. People live in a world where they have powers, and you can train to make those powers greater, use equipment to make those powers greater. So we have two sides. We have the Renegades, who are basically like Superman. They're the Marvel of this universe, where, you know, there's Captain Chromium and not Captain Dread. It's Dread something.
Warden?
Dread Warden, that's what it is, yeah. The Dread Warden who can turn invisible. And then there's the Anarchists, who are basically the villains of this story, and I use that term loosely.
Very loosely.
And we have both of them want kind of the same thing, equal rights for people with powers. The Anarchists are a little bit more violent than the Renegades. So we follow two characters. We follow Nova, who is an anarchist, infiltrating the Renegades, because she believes that the Renegades didn't save her family when her family's killed in the very first page of this book.
Yeah.
Very cold opening. And then we also follow Adrian, who is the son of the adopted son of the two most popular superhero or renegades in this big city. So he has this sense of justice. So we follow both of these characters through when they meet. Neither of them know their secret identities, which is always a cool concept. At least I've always found it a cool concept. So I gave this book a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I love superheroes. This kind of reminded me of My Hero Academia, which is an anime. My nerd is showing, I'm sorry. But it was very enticing. It was a quick read. There was action, and there was some slow burn, and it was a good time.
I gave it a 4. I felt the slow burn still a little too slow for my liking. I think that's pretty much what stopped me from giving it the 0.5. But I really enjoyed it. I was gripped from beginning to end. I have 3 pages of notes in my bullet journal to show how into it I was. I had so many predictions. It took me on a roller coaster, and some came true. Some I'm like, whoa, I did not see that coming, and I still have questions. Lots of questions.
Lots and lots of questions. Supernova can't come fast enough.
No kidding.
We're going to run into spoilers, so if you haven't read the book, go do it. Or wait until November, and then you can binge the whole series, because I have lots of regret, and I wish I did that, because I need answers, Marissa. I need them. So, welcome back, people who have read this book.
Yes.
Congratulations, you've read this awesome book.
Thank you for sticking around.
Yay. So, we're going to address the elephant in the room, or I guess the anarchist in the room.
Yeah.
And that's the fact that Ace is alive. Okay.
Yeah.
How we got through that entire book, and that was the last page reveal, was impressive. Especially because Nova knew the whole time. That's the part that gets me, is Nova knew and didn't let it slip, like, at all in the rest of the chapters. I love that.
I think it's a huge nod to Marissa, where she hinted to it and say, like, you never had that confirmation from the anarchists, looking back on the story, that, yes, he is dead, like, he died. It was mostly just in the memorabilia from the Renegades in their offices, showing like, haha, we did it.
We killed him.
Yeah.
Bulls JK.
But they never actually, and even when they go into the story of defeating him, they never actually say
they
that
just
he
have
was
his
a confirmed
They just
death.
have his helmet. Captain Chromium holds up his helmet, and so everyone assumes he's dead.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just found that, like, I did guess that Ace was alive, just because, like, it's a cool twist. It's a cool thing to, like, express, and I've read, so a cool thing is, you haven't read her other series.
No,
I have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, I kind of know what twists she likes to take.
Oh, okay.
So there was a couple of similarities that I found from the Lunar Chronicles in this, especially the relationship between Nova and Adrian. It is very much like Cinder and Kai, where they kind of start off as friends, and it's a very slow burn. In the Lunar Chronicles, it's more obvious that it's Cinderella and Prince Charming, but like they have that similar banter and that similar relationship, which I did notice, which is really cool. I mean, they're written by the same person. Oh no, I noticed that they're similar.
Right.
But no, I mean, overall, I love these characters, and I think one of my favorite things about this whole series is there's not a good or bad side.
Yeah, that's one thing that I noticed too, is that a lot of the lines are blurring. You see the good guys, and you see that they want the best for people, and they're the optimists of the world. They're the ones that are like they see everything as half full. They're everything's gonna be okay, and there's always a bad and there's always a good. That's the renegades. And then the anarchists are the pessimists. They're like, no, everything's bad. Yeah. We must destroy the good because everything's bad.
But the way that I love the way that she talks about the anarchists, because it's not like you actually get to know them as people, whereas I feel like in most superhero stories, it's just a villain. Like, oh no, bad guy, die, bad guy. Whereas in this, you actually get to see their personalities, their hopes, their dreams, why they are this way. Whereas these people were, prior to the whole Renegades plotline, we learned that people with powers were persecuted and killed by their families or people in their neighborhoods, and that's what started the anarchists joining. It was a bunch of people who had these powers trying to get this freedom and find their own family. So you get that sense where you just like, I want to protect you, I love you.
Yes. And you get that when Nova is in the Renegades and kind of seeing the day-to-day, you kind of see that she wants what's best for the world, and she believes that what's best for the world is no superheroes at all. Like, we just have everyday people living amongst themselves with some sort of government, kind of similar to how the U.S. government runs right now, very loosely.
Yeah.
But she's not trying to force her ideas because she doesn't want to get caught, and I think that's one thing that you see so much of, and I actually really enjoyed, but kind of I teeter back and forth between like, I really like this versus I'm kind of over this, how she always feels like every situation she's in when she's in the Renegades is that she's going to get caught.
Yeah.
Which, as a 16-year-old, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things where as a 25-year-old, I'm not like worried about all the time, but putting myself in the teenager's shoes, I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I had the same feeling with the selection, so that's just where I'm at.
All right. Can we talk about the superpowers? Because the superpowers in this were cool awesome.
I love them.
Like, they seem, when you think about them, like, and you just think about the power itself, they don't seem as powerful. So Nova's superpowers is when she touches someone, she can make them go to sleep, and she doesn't need to sleep herself. Yeah. Now, when you hear that, you're like, well, that's kind of dumb. No, like, she gets to stay up constantly.
Yeah.
So she takes, like, a couple of different jobs, which I found really cool. She's like, I like to keep preoccupied. And everyone's like, don't you need... Oh, no, you don't need sleep. And, like, in the midst of battle, if she touches you, you're down. Yeah. Like, you're asleep. And I loved that. I thought that was so cool of a power where when you, like, initially think about it, you're like, oh, that's stupid. Same with, like, Adrian's. Like, you don't realize how powerful So Adrian can draw something and make it come, like, to life from the material he drew it on, which is so cool.
Which gets even cooler in my current read, Archenemies. Because there's real cute scenes in this.
Adorable.
And it gets even better that his power is, like, forming a little bit more, and you actually get to see a little bit more in depth. Yeah. But even in Renegades, you see that intention.
Well, he can tattoo himself.
That's cool, too.
And give
Another
himself
spoiler.
Well, we're in the spoiler section. It's fine. But he can tattoo himself and give himself that power. Like, that's awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Like, that's something that, like... you don't think of you can utilize that power with. So,
the first time it happened in Renegades, I was actually shocked that he was doing it. And I was like, what is he doing? And then it goes in more detail, and he's describing what he's doing and the intention that he has. And I was like, oh my God, That's genius.
It's
that is so cool.
Because you're just like, oh, my drawings come to life. Well, that's dumb. Not if you can tattoo a fireball on your arm and now have fire powers.
Okay.
Like, holy crap. Like, the uses that Marissa came up with for these powers are phenomenal. And Max's powers.
Max. We're getting into Max now.
Love me some Max. He's adorable. And I love him. And he deserves all the happiness in the world.
Yes. I know my first prediction when Adrian's introducing Max in the quarantine, I was like, I wonder if he's radioactive. And they use that because they say he's valuable and dangerous. And I was like, well, nuclear substances, those are usually like, they're dangerous, but they're also kind of valuable in the world. So I was like,
and he said that only Captain Chromium can come near him.
Yeah,
and to me, like, okay, when I think of chromium, it's indestructible even from radioactive stuff. So that makes sense.
Yeah,
I guessed correctly.
She did.
I did. Kind of. I wasn't 100%. So I guess that he absorbs powers, and that's what he does. It's called absorption. But he also not only absorbs the powers, he takes them on himself. And that person is left powerless, which I thought was a really cool dynamic. It's a really cool, like, give and take of that superpower. But yeah, that's so valuable. I'm, like, actually kind of scared where that's going later in the series. Like, in Archenemies, it gets scary because, like, they talk about how he's doing they're doing testing on Max to improve relations, and that just, you know,
The story takes a weird twist, and then you really start to see the blurring of the lines between good and bad.
Yeah.
And it gets, you kind of see it a little bit in Renegades, but Archenemies is where it goes, like, out of control.
That's
where, like, where's the line? Is it over here? We don't really know.
There's way more gray area in Archenemies, which I'm really excited for. If that trend keeps up, are there going to be more gray area in Supernova? And,
again. We need the answers.
I need so many answers after that ending.
Also, one last thing on Max. His nickname, or his, like, superhero name, Bandit.
Bandit is adorable.
Love it.
It's adorable.
Absolutely love it.
So I think one of my favorite anarchists that we meet is Phobia. He's just super clouded in mystery, and his name is perfect because he can identify what you're most afraid of and then turn into it. And it's horrifying. And we have some, like, competing theories.
We do.
We have some competing theories. Because, like, the whole Adrian's mom plot line, where this superhero who could fly died because she fell.
Yes.
Like, okay, Batman, like, no.
Why?
That's not how superpowers work.
Exactly.
So, we have competing theories.
My theory is that Phobia manipulated Adrian's mom's fear of falling, because I think, like, if I can fly, I would be afraid of falling, because like that means my power is giving out. So I'm thinking that Phobia manipulated that, and they were on a roof somehow, and they were in, like, not like a battle, but like a conversation, and they ran into each other, and all of a sudden he manipulates her and kills her. That's my theory.
My theory is Phobia is Adrian's dad. So, I don't know why I think this, because the only information we've been given about it is that they broke up, like, right when she got pregnant, and I don't think he knows. Dad doesn't know, because he broke up with, I don't remember her name, Adrian's mom, because he couldn't handle dating a superhero. Who they were just starting up the Renegades. His mom is one of the few, like, original Renegades that died before this big battle with Ace Anarchy that supposedly killed him. Lols. So, it's just kind of interesting, like, and that's, I don't know. It's just so weird that they keep bringing up Adrian's mom and that whole thing. It has to be important, and Phobia is just so shrouded in mystery. I can't, like, help but think that there's a reason why he's so shrouded in mystery, and all of that. Phobia has something to do with it.
Yes. I also, like, we went on a tangent right after I finished Renegades on, like, back and forth theories, and ours kind of mesh a little bit at some points. Like,
I can honestly see them being both. Like, he did kill her, and he's Adrian's father.
Yeah, and it was an accident.
Yeah.
The other theory we have behind his death, or, excuse me, another theory we have behind her death is maybe
it was Max.
Yeah.
as a baby. Because Max would have been a baby. And we know that, like, Captain Chromium and Dread Warden... Captain Chromium is the only one who can handle Max without him absorbing his powers. And I know that they were testing his powers. We learned that a little bit, so we think that maybe they were testing out how strong Max's powers were and accidentally killed Adrian's mom. And that's why Captain Chromium and Dread Warden adopted both of the boys.
Yes.
So, that's a competing theory. And it would be interesting, because, you know, that would just add all the blurred lines.
Yes. Speaking of theories behind dead parents, mine with Nova's family.
Oh.
This was, like I said earlier, I have 3 pages in my bullet journal regarding notes. The 4th little note that I put in was thinking that Ace lied to Nova about the reason her parents died. I think that we know that her dad was working with one of the villain gangs and making weapons for them, and he wanted out of it, so he
went to the Renegades
for
protection. And Captain Chromium said that he would protect his family, and he didn't. He didn't. They never got there in time.
Yes.
But, so this assassin guy, hitman, that's the word I wanted, came in, killed Nova's parents and her infant sister. And right before the guy was going to kill Nova, Ace shows up, which seems a little too convenient. Where he set it up to kind of... Because Nova's powers were already shown when she was that age, and I think maybe Ace saw how powerful that can be in the future.
Yeah, so part of that backstory is Nova, before she was killed, she put the hitman to sleep. And one of the first line we hear after this, in this scene, is Ace holding Nova saying, "You dangerous, dangerous girl."
Yeah.
And that's a overarching theme throughout Renegades, is whenever Nova talks about Ace, she always says is he called her a dangerous girl.
He even nicknamed her Nightmare.
Yeah.
Which is a solid name for her power, might I add.
So it made me suspicious that something else was happening, that maybe Ace is the one that hired the hitman.
Yeah.
That it was...
To make her instill a hatred of the Renegades and get her completely on his side. It seemed,
Because my idea is that he found out his brother went to his enemies and was like, "Why did you do this?" And hired the hitman, and his intention was to kill the entire family, and Nova survived, and then he twisted this whole thing, because there's also a scene where Nova's entering in all of the the weapon system, and she gets curious and pulls up her parents' file, and
we only get to read a little bit of it because Nova can't stomach reading most of it. It's
there's a security.
Yeah, there was a security thing too, clearance. But I know that she had a really hard time reading it, especially when they talked about the 11-month-old.
Yeah, so that put my little red flag up again too. Was like, why is there a security clearance?
Yep.
With this, it made it seem like, because Nova thinks that the council's hiding their mistake. Yes. When in reality, I think it was, they don't want the public to know that Ace turned on his own brother.
Right.
So, it's back and forth.
Which makes sense.
I could be completely wrong.
We could be. That's why they're theories. Because hopefully answers will be given to me in Supernova.
I hope. Let's hope.
I just need so many answers.
Come on, November. Let's do this.
Oh my goodness. Last thing we're going to talk about is the epic final scene at the end with the bomber, or the detonator.
The detonator.
The detonator. And the final fight between Nightmare, the Sentinel, and the detonator. Because holy crap, that was awesome.
Yes.
That was a good 50 pages of just,
wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Just lots of flipping, I need
all
of
what
the
is
answers.
Happening. Was Adrian in Sentinel? I thought he was just him.
He was Sentinel. Ooh.
No, he was just him. He was Sentinel at the library.
He was Sentinel at the library. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. I said Sentinel. But that, I don't know, just that whole fight, and now Nova can kind of, not lead a double life anymore, now that everyone thinks Nightmare's dead, which I think will work to her favor in the next books?
While reading Archenemies, you kind of see a lot more of Nova teetering back and forth and being like, I could just give up and just be a renegade, and being like, no, I have to be this. So
overall, action-packed,
yes.
really cool superhero book, which I don't know if I've read a lot of like superhero books.
I have not.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Not really. Like superhero, like magic, yes, but like actual like superheroes, no. And this was so well done. Like we've mentioned just a few times, Supernova comes out in November, and we're very excited for it. Since I have finished both books and I need lots of answers.
I have 120 pages left, so I'm sitting real pretty with Archenemies, like, why? Yeah. Why are you doing this to me?
So that's what she's currently reading.
I'm currently reading this.
I'm currently reading Vicious by V.E. Schwab because I needed more superheroes in my life. So I went to Victoria Schwab because that's what you do when, you want dark and superheroes, apparently. Dark and twisty. So those are our current reads, and then you can look forward to, in the month of July, our book of the month is Bloodleaf by Crystal Smith. This is a twist on the original tale of Goose Girl, which I don't even know that tale, but that's about all I know about this book. Is a girl gets banished from she's a princess who the people hate and banish her from her homeland, so she decides to be like, alright, cool, whatever, and goes somewhere else, but needs to go back to her homeland to fight for her throne, I assume? Something to that nature. That feels YA-ish.
Yeah, I know I got the idea of reading this from Jesse the Reader. He was gushing about it for a couple videos, and I was like, I want to read that.
It is, and it's just so pretty.
Look at this.
It's just so pretty. So feel free to read along. All of our Goodreads and Instagrams handles are all down below. We're all on Goodreads fairly often. We don't have a specific time in the month that we read this, as long as we read it in the month of July. I typically try and read these books relatively close to when we do these videos. I think kind of all of us do, but we all read at different paces. So this is the first book in a series. I don't know how many are in there. I know that the cover art for book 2 just dropped a few weeks ago, which is equally as gorgeous.
Yes.
So if we love this enough, we'll complain about how we need the sequel in our next video.
Either way, we will complain how we need the sequel.
Either way. So, like I said before, all of our handles and everything is down below. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
Make sure to hit that little bell icon and get notifications when we do post.
And that's all we have for you guys today. So we will see you in our next one.
Bye!